Hello and welcome. I'm Chris and you are watching the vlog from the bog. Hi, this is the show where political correctness is, well, there's no such thing here. Anyway, let's move on. Ian Duncan Smith, that prick who tries to run DWP, Department of Work and Pensions. Last year, he wished his constituencies a happy Christmas. You fucking ignorant prick. Ian Duncan Smith, we wish you would bowl your head, you heartless, bald-headed twat. How can you even sleep at night, knowing that you've had a hand in people's deaths through the way you take things away from people, things they have fought for? You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Ian Duncan shit. Anyway, moving on. Right, Happy New Year to everyone. It's terrible, isn't it? 2nd of January this year, second day into the new year, some scrote stole a van. Well, big deal, a van. Cars and vans, lorries get stolen all the time. But this one's a little bit different. These bastards stole a food van. You know, the food bank vans, the vans and the people who take food to the elderly, heavily pregnant, or those who are vulnerable. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Do you know that? You've taken food out of the mouths of people who really need it. And this time of year, with the cold, it's going to be even worse. I'll tell you, I hope someone finds you and kicks the fucking shit out of you. Anyway, keep an eye out for this van, please. This is the picture of the van. Right, the registration number is YX55 WTO. Right, if you find this van, please phone the West Midlands Police on 101 or email luke@birminghamupdates.com. I hope they get caught. I hope they get sent down, and I hope the inmates give them a right bloody good pasting, because they are the low of the low. Anyway, let's move on a bit. Something a bit lighter, anyway. Nick Clegg has finally found his new job in Brussels. Mr. Cameron, Mr. David Cameron, he's getting a bit worried. He's upset. He's throwing his toys out of his pram because a lot of his MPs are switching to UKIP. Yes. When you're a dickhead, you've got to expect this, haven't you? Yeah. Anyway, next on the agenda. And now it is time for...
It's the shitter of the week.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the shitter of the week goes to a man who's been claiming benefits worth over £25,000 per year He's also living in a house worth at the best part of £1 million. And he's preaching to everyone that gays should be hung, adulterers should be stoned to death, and thieves should have their hands cut off. I think you know who we're talking about. We're talking about the shit of the week, Mr. Anjem Chowdhury.
It's a shitter of the week.
Mr. Chowdhury and his band of hired psychopaths are quite obviously responsible for the death of people like Lee Rigby. Do you remember a couple of years ago, the guy who had his head chopped off by those evil Michael, I can't fucking pronounce their names. I don't think I want to. I think them scumbags should have been hung. They have murdered an innocent man, okay? This should be down to treason because they have destroyed something that belonged to the crown. You should be hung for treason. You too, Mr. Anjem Chowdhury. Anyway, let's see what our American friends think of this scumbag.
Mr. Chowdhury, I'm Kathleen Parker, and I have a question for you. If I understood you correctly, you said a bit ago that you support any Muslim doing the work of a Muslim. Can you describe exactly what you mean by the work of a Muslim?
Yes, I believe that Islam is submission, and that applies to every aspect of our life, whether in our relationship with our families, our relationship with the society, even the way that we address people and invite them to Islam. Jihad is not something which, you know, the Muslims are permanently engaged in, but there is jihad to liberate Muslim land, which is an obligation for the Muslims to support verbally, financially and physically, to liberate and to defend our life and our property. And of course, this is something, you know, the Muslims around the world, I don't think will differ with. They may say one thing to you in front of CNN, but I can assure you behind your backs, in every masajid, in every community center, they are standing with their Muslim brothers and sisters saying, we hope the Americans and British are pushed out of our countries and we can implement the Sharia. So this is an Islamic obligation for us to support our brothers around the world. Our land is one, our war is one, our peace is one, our honor is one. But we don't need to be in a constant state of this flux of, you know, a cycle of violence. I think that we can have a decent relationship. You withdraw your troops, stop supporting the pirate state of Israel, and then perhaps we can have a dialogue and discussion. These warnings are there in the statements of Sheikh Osama bin Laden, Sheikh Ayman al-Zawahiri, you know, Adam Ghaddan. You know, why is the American establishment not taking heed? I think that is the real question.
But you also want to impose Sharia law where you live. Does that mean that, does the work of a Muslim mean imposing Sharia law on everyone who is not a Muslim, including Americans?
Look, the Sharia law is the divine law sent by God to the final messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is justice for mankind. It will take mankind out of the shackles of man-made law into the perfection and beauty of divine law. So of course I want that everywhere. I want to share that with you. Surely it's a very noble thing to invite someone to a superior way of life. You know, if I believe that people are being oppressed, why should I not invite them to come out of that oppression? I believe that the Americans, the British, indeed most of the world, have been living in the darkness of the hegemony and the exploitation of man-made law for many, many decades. But, you know, when we open the door, when we shine the light, people don't like the light. But, you know, I think you'll find that when people actually have a look at Islam, when they look at the Sharia, they will see that it in fact has a solution for every single problem that is facing America and Britain nowadays, you know, from the inflation to the credit crunch to the exploitation.
Mr. Chowdhury, yes. Are you communicating with individuals in the United States and encouraging them to participate in attacks of this sort?
Of course I am. You know, I am participating in communication with people all around the world. As you know, the internet makes the world a very small place. You know, we have a lot of support, in fact, post-Wotton Bassett, from people as far as field as Indonesia, from India.
Mr. Chowdhury, based upon your answer, I believe, and I'm sure many prosecutors will listen to your answer, you have violated U.S. law. You deserve to be arrested, prosecuted, jailed for the rest of your life. That is what you, sir, deserve.
I will say to you, well, you can use as much pejorative. You can use as much pejorative as you wish. My invitation is a peaceful one to people to embrace Islam and to warn them, obviously, of the consequences of occupying Muslim land. I think that's a very decent thing. If we said to you, look, there's not going to be any consequence by people attacking Muslims, then
you know,
I think that would be.
Nick Roberts.
Even his own Muslim brethren cringe when they hear his name. Take a look at this.
I wish I understand how much Arabic do you know, my friend? Do you know what sallallahu alayhi wasallam mean? Can you just, don't read a book for me. Just tell me what the sentence sallallahu alayhi wasallam mean in English.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, what sallallahu alayhi wasallam mean?
Yeah, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon the Prophet.
You're wrong. Learn Arabic. Do you know what sallah mean? The word sallah. What does the word sallah mean in English?
I think you need to go back and to study.
No. I'm asking you a question. What does the word sallah mean in English?
I know what it means.
My friend.
If you don't know what it means,
No,
you need to go.
This is my tongue. This is my mother tongue language. I'm not learning like you. You have not learned Islam yet. What does the word sallah mean?
All Muslims know that sallallahu alayhi wa sallam means that may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon
That's what they taught you, my friend. My friend, you don't understand. They taught you this when they make you a baby Muslim. They tell you sallallahu alayhi wa sallam means peace be upon him. No. What does the word sallah mean? Never mind sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What does the word sallah? What does the word sallah mean?
What do you think it means exactly?
Do you pray every day, my friend?
What do you think it means?
I'm telling you, do you know what the word pray? I'm going to show to the world you're ignorant of Islam, as simple as you don't even know the word sallah mean. When you pray, you salli. You salli means you pray. Now, when you say Allah, pray on Muhammad, why can't you translate it right? You know what you word to pray. You pray 5 times a day, don't you?
Lebanese or Syrian, you know, if you want to study Arabic, you can come to our class.
Study Arabic? I can teach your scholar Arabic.
Okay.
You know your scholar, I can teach them Arabic. So if you learn Arabic, then you know Islam. You don't even know the word Salah, and you call yourself a Muslim scholar or a Muslim baloney. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Right, I'd like to introduce to you one of my favourite YouTubers. He's a stand-up comedian and a very intelligent man. I think he sums up Mr. Anjem Choudary pretty well. Ladies and gentlemen, could you put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Pat Conroy.
Some people have a way of getting right up your nose, don't they? One such person is Mr. Anjem Choudary, a British-born Islamist with a very big mouth and some very harsh opinions about how people should be allowed to live their lives. And he's been popping up quite a lot in the media recently with his pompous little voice and his bushy little face, so stern, so righteous, telling us all what a corrupt society this is, while fully enjoying all its benefits. His latest pronouncement is that gay people should be stoned to death. Yes, he's a real charmer. I don't know if he's going to be prosecuted for hate speech for saying this, you know, the way a non-Muslim would be, or if the police think that upholding the law might cause offence and harm community cohesion. You'll have to ask them that if you can find them. Meanwhile, he wants beer drinkers like me publicly flogged. Ouch, now it gets personal. He wants women forced to dress like nuns, and he wants to see the flag of Allah flying over Downing Street. You know, with such aggressive opinions, a man is bound to have some inner tension. Maybe he needs to relax with a few pints of cider and a couple of spliffs, you know, like in the old days. Because we found out recently that before he became an Islamist dickhead, this man was quite the party animal. Alcohol, cannabis, casual sex, pornography, you name it, and he sucked it in and blew it out in bubbles, by all accounts. They say, don't they, there's nothing quite as bad as the enthusiastic convert. Although I have to say it's a shame he's not quite devout enough in his new beliefs to have himself retrospectively stoned to death for that behaviour and do us all a huge favour. It's fair to say that this man is not well liked in Britain. Although he was born here, if the government were to put him on a plane anyway and dump him in the middle of the desert where he rightly belongs, I bet somebody orbiting in a spacecraft would be able to hear the spontaneous applause emanating from this tiny island, because born here or not, he's about as welcome in this country as a fly is in a kitchen, and he serves the same purpose, a poison-spreading nuisance who makes people sick. Now, I know a lot of Muslims are embarrassed by this guy. They cringe when they see his name in the media because they know that their faith is about to be portrayed yet again as a religion of fruitcakes and sadists. But they don't have to worry about that because everybody knows he's an extremist nutcase. Every time he opens his mouth, he proves that calling him pig ignorant is actually an insult to pigs. He's a walking parody, a laughingstock, a ludicrous cartoon character who speaks for nobody but himself and his own pathetic little coterie of insane medieval pinheads. And ironically, this is what makes him a unifying influence, which of course is the last thing that he wants to be, because whatever we believe or don't believe, we can all laugh at this idiot together in a wonderful example of actual community cohesion. You see, there's a first time for everything. As for the flag of Allah flying over Downing Street, well, my hunch is that the British flag will still be flying there long after Mr. Chowdhury and his fuzzy-faced friends have come to their senses, had a shave, and are back on the cider and the spliffs. Peace.
Thank you, Pat. I'll tell you what, you're one of the best, my friend. My verdict, you are a nasty piece of crap. You're lower than any life form on this planet. Mr. Anjem Choudhury, you're flushed. Pat Condell, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out his channel. I'll leave the details below. I guess, well, my friends, that's all we got time for. So make sure to tune in next week for more Vlog from the Bog. Let us know what you think. Leave your comments below and be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Vlog from the Bog. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.